The filter on the right is the FIXT pitcher. The filter on the left is a Brita pitcher. Most people see the FIXT pitcher and think, that looks like a plain old pitcher. How do I know it works? To start, the FIXT pitcher is made with 100% BPA-free plastic. I couldn't tell you what the Brita filter is made of. But let's zoom in so you can see the differences in how their filters work. Both filters start the same way. First, gravity pulls the water through a layer of activated carbon. Activated carbon is great for grabbing chemicals like pesticides, benzene, which the American Cancer Society links to blood cancer, and herbicides, which have to be toxic to kill plants, so I don't want them anywhere near my water. But if you look closely, you'll see the Brita filter has all different size holes. It's because they use a cheaper carbon filter. Here's a problem. The water only gets cleaned when it goes through the small holes, but since water naturally takes the path of least resistance and the big holes are easy to flow through, a lot of your water will slip right through there. That means a good chunk of the water in the Brita filter will skip the cleaning pores and slip into your drinking water, contaminants and all. The FIXT pitcher is different. It uses more completely organic, activated coconut carbon instead. We don't just use coconut carbon because it's better for the environment. It lets you make all the pores the same size, meaning the only way the water can go is straight through the tiny micropores. This pitcher has pores that are just 2 microns in size. The activated coconut carbon is ionically charged, so as the contaminants pass by, the carbon's natural electrical charge grabs them and sticks them to the filter. In comparison, the Brita pitcher stops with just a single cheap carbon block, and to be honest, it does a pretty good job of getting chlorine out, but it does almost nothing to stop the fluoride or heavy metals. The FIXT pitcher does. The secret is inside the second part of the filter, and this is where the magic really happens. Underneath the coconut carbon is our proprietary organic filter. This is the only filter that uses these materials and methods. We found out that nature has already figured out how to get rid of all these nasty contaminants for us. This filter works 2 ways. First, by grabbing heavy metals, fluoride, and pharmaceutical contaminants while they're passing by, but letting good minerals and pure water go straight through. But unlike some expensive reverse osmosis devices, this filter is smart enough to leave all the good minerals your body craves inside the water that shoots through. The second way the special organic filter works is by actually absorbing the toxins or contaminants as they float by. Imagine a chemical trap. When fluoride, lead, or even some prescription drugs float by the trap, springs and sucks the bad chemicals inside. Then it resets, ready to grab the next contaminant. Now, here's a question you might have. What happens if the activated coconut carbon has a pore get clogged up? The magnet-like molecule misses the fluoride. Or the chemical trap already has a contaminant captured and hasn't reset yet? Great question. If there was only one pass, honestly, you'd be in trouble. The contaminants would leak through into your drinking water. But packed inside this little filter are thousands and thousands of microchannels, forcing the water through the coconut carbon, magnet-like molecule, and chemical quicksand trap, not just once, but thousands of times. In fact, if you took the filter apart and laid it out side by side, you'd cover half the surface of a professional football field. Now, imagine it's full of all the chemical traps I told you about, and a teeny tiny toxic molecule of fluoride, heavy metal, or prescription drugs has to walk from one side or the other. It'd be like you or I trying to walk through the state of Texas if it was filled with explosive landmines. If you had to place a bet, do you think these toxic chemicals would make it to be captured? Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, there isn't just one filter inside your FIXT pitcher. There are actually 3. So toxins have to try and escape not just one, but 3 of these high-powered purifying filters. That way your water gets the best taste and stripped of as many chemicals as possible. But it's hard to imagine little bits of fluoride or heavy metals or other unhealthy chemicals like prescription drugs in your water since they're so hard to taste and see. But even though it pulls out bad chemicals, it keeps your water chock full of healthy minerals. Filtration systems like reverse osmosis strip out all the healthy minerals you absolutely need to survive. In the industry, they call that dead water. But this special pitcher lets calcium, magnesium, zinc, and other critical minerals through so you can get rid of toxins but stay healthy. It makes sense if you think about it. When you drink tasty mountain spring water, you're also getting the natural, clean minerals it picked up. It's water, just the way nature made it. Unfortunately, most people's tap water is nowhere near close to a mountain spring. So let me ask you, which do you think is better for your body? Naturally filtered mountain spring water, or the chemically modified water that comes out of your tap? I think the spring water's a pretty easy answer, which is why the FIXT pitcher is put together to pull out harmful chemicals and keep your water as natural as possible.